All right, Jacob Burch of Harlan helps lead the Cyclones into a state championship game. Jacob, a really explosive night for you guys in the second half, and you're moving on. Just what are the thoughts right now?
Well, everyone's just excited to move on and go to the state championship, and hopefully we just do the exact same thing that we did here.
What was the mentality coming into this? You guys were here a year ago. Obviously, a program like Harlan is maybe to an extent expected to be here. So did it just kind of feel like a normal game?
Yeah, there was a little bit of nerves coming into it. That's probably why we didn't start off, really good. But then we just started getting it going, and then everyone just kept making plays.
Talk about your role in the offense. What was it you were seeing tonight that led to your success?
Most of the times I can just find openings and little gaps that I can just sit in, and Teagan gives me good balls to catch, and then hopefully just take it to the house or something.
Speak to you and Teagan's chemistry, not only tonight but throughout the season. You've kind of, in what I've been able to see this year, been that guy that he's able to go to on third downs to keep the chains moving, and tonight it parlayed into a couple touchdowns.
Just whenever you have as many weapons as we do, it just opens up everything.
State championship game next week. What's the approach?
Just same as this. We all just want to play to our best ability and just play our best, I guess.
All right, a big night from Teagan Bauer. Teagan, I'm sure this has got to feel really good for you to come back here to Cedar Falls and put together the game that you did tonight. Just talk about that.
Oh, it's great to come back here, do what we do best, and just come out here, put the ball around, move the ball, and just make plays.
Last time we were here, I'm sure you'd be the first to say it didn't go the way you wanted it to. Was that something that was kind of a thought coming into tonight, or I'm sure it was something, maybe it was a little bit of a motivator?
I don't know, just keep it out of the head, just keep moving. We know what we got in mind, state championship, so let's just work at that.
What was it that clicked tonight? Over 300 yards passing. You had, I think, 4 touchdowns. You're now the school record holder for touchdowns in a season with that. But what were you seeing?
Just receivers making big plays, the line holding up defense. So we just kept the ball moving. Everybody put the ball in their hands, make the receivers rely on them. That's what they do best.
As a quarterback, how easy does it make your job when you've got 4 guys you can go to at any time, and more often than not, they're going to make the big play?
We got weapons. If I put the ball in their hands, I know we can make big plays and get things done. So just rely on them.
What were you seeing defensively from Humboldt that allowed you to kind of pick at them and do what you guys were able to do?
They were staying deep. They didn't want anything up deep, so we take our shots underneath, butcher them underneath, and then whenever they bite up, beat them deep.
State championship game next week. Do you feel like you're going to come into this one with more of a sense of what to expect and maybe how to handle things?
Yeah, I got a little bit of maturity under us, and we can just move the ball. We can come out of this championship game and actually know what's going on here, keep our head in the game and move it.
And it's a team you guys are familiar with, Boyd and Hole Rock Valley. I know every year is a little bit different look, but you go back to that semifinal game last year where you guys were able to do a lot of really nice things against them. What do you kind of remember from that game that hopefully you guys can have similar success with next week?
I honestly don't remember much. I think they got a whole new offense. They got a new quarterback in there, so they got a whole new game plan coming into this. We'll have a whole new game plan. We'll just work at it.
Obviously, the goal was to always get here, and I know that was your guys' goal to start the year, but what does it mean to navigate through all the ups and downs of a season and to do so in kind of a dominant fashion to return to next Friday?
We got to work through what we go through, and we got some big things that work out in our favor. We got some other things that don't work out in our favor, so just keeping things moving, pushing through the weaknesses, and just come out on top.
All right, here with Aiden Hall. Harlan's back into a state championship game. Aiden, it was kind of a close game early on. You guys are able to pull away. Just your thoughts?
Well, it feels good to get back in the championship and have a shot at winning it. But overall, the game, I thought we struggled a little bit in the first quarter, in the first half. But, we stepped it up in the second half, and we really put it on them. And, yeah.
It's probably easier to say this now because you guys won, but do you think maybe kind of some of those struggles will help you guys going into next week? Because, really outside of week 1, there hasn't been much challenge for you guys from opponents this season.
Yeah, I think this really benefited us because it's kind of a wake-up call. We kind of came out a little flat, weren't ready to play, and then, we woke up and then we started playing pretty well.
You had, a big screen pass that I think was kind of the dagger there. Take us through that play. What did you see that created that?
We talked about it at halftime, and then we called it, and it was just wide open, and I just had to make a play in the open field, and that's what I did, and then it worked out pretty well.
Then you had a pick 6 as well. Talk about that.
Well, we're playing like cover 2, I think, and Will Newharth actually made the tip on that. We were both covering the out route, and he made the tip, and I got it, and I just used my speed to outrun all the guys trying to give me.
What does it mean to help lead a program like Harlan, obviously a very storied program, back into a state championship game?
It feels good. You know, we've always been kind of talented, and I guess you could say a powerhouse of Iowa, so it feels good to kind of be one of the leaders of this team, and hopefully I can lead us next week to a championship.
Yeah, I'd say most state titles in the state qualifies as a powerhouse. Looking at that now, Boyd and Hall Rock Valley, you guys are familiar with them, of course, but every team's a little bit different. What's the approach for you guys coming in, knowing you've been here before, maybe have a sense of what to expect?
Well, we got a lot of veterans on this team, so we got some experience, but we'll watch film on this week, clean up the mistakes, and the coaches will put together a good scheme for next week, and it should be a good game.
First, shut off a few toes there in the first half, but you're able to survive, get to half of the lead, and gradually just played better, I guess, as the night went on.
Yeah, that was a nerve-wracking start to a game, I can tell you that. Their quarterback is something special. He really is. He's a heck of a player, and Humboldt, I got to hand it to them. They're well coached. They got a lot of good players. They're well disciplined, and we in the end we just made more plays than them. We did stub our toe a little bit. We put the ball on the ground quite a bit, and wasn't quite able to take advantage of some situations that we were handed, and like right before half. That one I put on me on 100%. Thought we were going to get that, and then let the clock get too low, and weren't able to make any hay on that. I made a bad decision, so I'll live with that. It happens all the time, but our players are pretty resilient and came back and made some plays.
It's probably easy to say this now because of the end result, but you guys were tested maybe as much as you have been since Lewis Central in Week 1. What do you think maybe that does for you guys going forward with the resiliency you had to show tonight?
I think it'll bring some focus back, and we do have to have a fantastic week of practice. I think Boyd and Hall showed that they're an elite football school right now, and playing really good football, and our guys are going to have to really be disciplined in what they're doing and make plays when they're called upon, and then we had a few things that were unfortunate tonight. The long snap, our long snapper hurt his shoulder right to play before he had to snap. Short snap, and then it goes between his legs. Could have probably kicked it out of the back of the end zone, so that's a good learning experience. He knows better next time, and next time he'll just kick it out the back of the end zone. But little things like that. But then we come right back and hit frame on a little slant go, and turn the momentum in the dome around, and that's always huge. And we were able to kind of continue with that for a while. They had a few drives that were sustained, but and then they were able to punch one in on a little corner route there, but caught it over the top. But other than that, we were able to keep the momentum and keep rolling.
When things weren't going well early, one of the guys that did step up was Jacob Burch. Some huge plays early, some huge catches.
Yeah, he's got great hands. He runs good routes. He's a quick kid. He runs really right around 4.5, 4.6 speed. So he can fly around on the field and make plays. And we were happy to have him. I think I don't know how many catches he had, 5 or 6. 7. So he was doing yeoman's work there for a while, and then that opened up some other guys when they started having to slide around a little bit. So he was fantastic catching the ball and getting upfield tonight for sure.
Speak to Teagan's night. I know you've talked all year about the progression he's made from last year to this year, and I think tonight is probably the perfect example of that.
Yeah, he started taking what they were giving us. They were giving us some of the unders early, and then once we got that hitting, we were able to get a few deep balls. But everybody's going to make a few mistakes here and there, and he's going to look at that and he's going to try to improve. And that's what he does week to week. It doesn't matter if it's the last game of the season or not. So he's going to look for improvement. He's going to try to make better decisions. We're going to try to make better calls as coaches. I mean, sometimes we put him in a tough situation, and he's got to make the best of it. But that's kind of how football rolls.
You gave up that rushing touchdown over 80 yards early, but then what was the approach defensively? You really contained him the rest of the night. You have one guy spying him, or how'd you have to contain him?
We missed a gap on that. Gap responsibility is so important. especially against a guy like that. And you know, we were in one gap off, and that's what bit us. I mean, it's a 80-yard touchdown run's the result. So that's how important being in the right place is on defense. You know, you still have to make the play when it comes to you, but if you're not in the right place to make it, it's impossible, and that's pretty evident by an 80-yard run. So
That happens early, and then they don't score again the rest of the.
and you know, our defense stepped up and made big play, and all of a sudden we got the ball back in our hands, and we're able to get it out of there at least and move the ball down the field.
Boyd and Hole Rock Valley, obviously, for all the marbles on Friday. And I know you guys are a little familiar with them last year, but every year is a little bit different. What do you guys maybe take away from not only last year's matchup, but what you've seen from them this year going into next week?
Well, we don't like to look too far ahead, that's for sure. I didn't get to watch much of the game there. There's a gas issue on the road, some gas spill, something. But they're a good football team. There's no doubt about it. With T-Slaw slinging around there, he's really effective. He's kind of like Teagan. He likes to throw the ball down the field, and he takes what people give him. And we're going to have to play disciplined defense, and offensively they look like tyrants out there. They're not giving up much. So we're going to have to break it down. But right now we're going to kind of live in the moment and enjoy this for a little bit, and then get back to work tomorrow.
Yeah, and just how gratifying to get back to this point.
Yeah, these guys, they got all the way there last year, and then, some things went sour on us, and we had some sour grapes, so they've been wanting to have finish some unfinished business, and now they have the opportunity. It's in front of them, and, it's going to take a week of good focused practice, and, we're going to prepare as well as we can for what Boyd and Hole can throw at us, and I know that's going to be plenty.